Hi, it's Jason Perico here to tell you that this month at Bianchi Honda, you choose. You can lease the 2015 Honda Civic LX Automatic Stand for $199 a month, or lease the 2015 Honda Accord LX Automatic Stand for $199 a month, both with no money down. That's right, lease either one of these two great vehicles for $199 a month with no money down. Bianchi Honda. Visit us at BianchiHonda.com.
Fired up. We have baseball, we have football, we have a rival game on a Thursday night. We have Molly Brannigan's. I mean, it's just not right that I get paid for this, but somebody has to do it. It may as well be me. I am James R. You are listening to The Blitz. Want to welcome Brad Rzyczycki, Gannon football coach. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Like always, Jim, thanks for having me.
I know it's a tough week.
Quick turnaround.
Wednesday and a game tomorrow. First of all, you go into a big rivalry game, 2-game losing streak, a beautiful day, great venue and everything, trying to pick up a win. Take us through that game. That was quite exciting.
Yeah, that was a fun one. You know, that's the good thing about adversity, you know, going on a 2-game losing streak and going to play your arch rival is you don't have to do much from a motivational standpoint with your team to get them ready. They're prepared, and they had the best week of practice we ever had all year going into that game. And I thought they came out, you know, and they played hard. Every single play, they left it out there, whether we were right assignment-wise or wrong. If they made mistakes, they made them fast, and they just played extremely hard. And that game had so many ups and downs to it. They never gave up through the entire part of it. Even when we were stuck down the red zone, we went down a score in the third quarter. They just stuck with it, and I was extremely proud of them. Thought that they took a huge step forward.
Bear with me. It's hard to follow because I interviewed you after the game. I interviewed you Sunday at the Plymouth Tavern, but there's people that didn't hear any of those interviews. 2 block extra points, a block punt. Tell us, was that a coincidence that Jake Plonsky blocked both of them, or did they have a set play? How did those 2 extra points get blocked?
Personnel. Wrong assignment. It was personnel. We changed personnel, and you saw we protected for the field goal that ended up winning the game for us. The block punt was a missed assignment, the way we called our numbering system. But, yeah, we changed personnel there, so we got that one fixed, hopefully.
Yeah, well, it got fixed at the right time.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. How does block kicks affect the kicker, Karch Holland? I mean, do you want to lift your head up like in golf or to see who's coming and that? It's got to be pretty hard to have a couple kicks blocked and still keep your head down. That's
why every kicker for me that's been really good, all his dogs aren't barking normally. So that's the good thing about kickers is they have a short memory and they really don't worry about those type of things. The ones that are the most normal kids, they'll freak out about things like that. But not to say that Karch is abnormal. Things like that just don't bother him. He
wants to be in that position no matter what.
Absolutely, and he takes a lot of pride in it. And he tries to figure out the solution to the protection part of it too, just like anybody else. But he's invested. He was just happy to kick the one through the uprights that won the game.
All right, final play of the game. Kid does a great job of breaking a couple possible sacks to end the game and throws a perfect Hail Mary pass 2-3 yards deep in the end zone. Your man Xander, I saw him catch it, but he also disappeared in a sea of humanity, and you don't know what's going to happen under there. Were you holding your breath? I mean, you know, if the officials, they have to, whoever comes out with the ball, I think they have to give it to
Yeah, if you'd have checked my blood pressure at that point in time, I'm sure it would have been skyrocketing. But I saw the same thing from the field that everyone else saw during the course of the game, is that it looked like he initially caught it, but then there was a pile of everybody. Right. I saw Matt Astorino come in and clean somebody up, which I think helped Mike secure the football at that point in time. And if I'm going to trust somebody to come away with the ball, I'm going to trust Mike Xanders. That's a tough nut right there, and he's proved it time and time again. He played outstanding. Obviously was the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference West Defensive Player of the Week. But I got all trust in him, and that was a good way for that game to come down to. A rivalry game, you're talking about an interception on and a Hail Mary. No other way, obviously we were on top, so I was pretty happy, but that was a phenomenal game to go watch and to be a part of.
Yeah, it's funny. I had Marty Schetzel on Monday, and when I brought it up to you, you go, yeah, that was a fun game. He said that was an entertaining game for the fans. So, I don't know how much fun Marty had, but he was here Monday. He answered all the questions and everything. Any injuries?
Yeah, we got bumps and bruises again with such a quick turnaround Thursday night that it's still there's some kids that haven't practiced. Jimmy, and I went through the same thing going into the Mercyhurst game and got them all healthy, but that was a pretty physical game on Saturday. So we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow night to see some of these guys, but there are some bumps and bruises.
Starting quarterback for Mercyhurst gets hurt, but that was no ordinary quarterback they brought off the bench. He was the original starter last year for the first 2 games, and then got beat out by Boylan. So he came in there, and I thought he performed well in a big game.
Yeah, he's run their offense before. It's not like you were bringing someone fresh in that's never done it before that may have panicked out. So he knew their offense. We thought he was actually pretty good. I know the Boylan kid got hot last year, and they stayed with him. He's kind of just taking that thing over. But you weren't going to lose anything with the backup that came in at that point in time. So that's why we stuck schematically with what we were doing, not sending different pressures or different things trying to get after him, because the kid was prepared and knew the offense really well.
Another great effort by the defense. The offense still not consistent for 4 quarters.
Yeah, put up a lot of yards. We had problems in the red zone, and we ended up turning the ball over at inopportune times during the course of the game. We've got to score points in those situations. But we did a good job of sustaining drives. Heck, we went 65 yards to kick that field goal to win the game and churned 4 minutes off the clock to do it. So there were some definite pluses for what we were doing out there. But I thought they still played hard. We just got to do a better job getting the ball in the end zone and scoring points at the end of these drives.
What do you see from Edinburgh, defensively against your team?
Well, the first 3 games of the year, they were in a 3-3 stack, which is what they did last year. And now the last 3 games, they've been back to their old 4-2 defense. So I think maybe they've settled in a 4-man front and completely changed that philosophy. So now they're doing more out of the 4-man front than they did 3 games ago. So we'll see more line stunts, some run stunts. If they're struggling stopping the run, they have the ability to start spiking some ends. And then offensively, they're doing back what Coach Browning did when he was the offensive coordinator, have tight ends in the game, two at a time at times, play action pass, being able to run the football in the different schemes that he ran when he was the offensive coordinator. So they, the big thing about Edinburgh is you watch them on film and they play extremely hard. There's not a lull in those kids. They get after it against everyone they're playing. He does have some youth on that team. So we're still got to play well, but schematically, they're kind of what they were 4 years ago, and defensively the same deal. They're a 4-2, so they've kind of went back to their ways a little bit.
How do you think the offensive line played against Mercyhurst?
Much better. I think it helped having Randy Toth, our right guard, back and healthy. I think he got out there and is able to identify different calls, maybe calling out the Mike linebacker, letting everybody know if they were in a panic situation, who to block in certain situations, because he's a kid that's done it for 4 years now. So having him on the field, I thought from an assignment standpoint, we were really good. And I told you, talent's never been an issue. It's been more of the lack of experience with the 4 new starters up front. When Randy came back, he kind of set everyone in their ways, and I thought they held up protection great for Liam.
All right, and again, we talked about this before. You won the toss against Mercyhurst, elected to receive, and you moved the ball downfield. Do you feel not scoring, you still sent a message?
Absolutely, because we still churned clock and we showed that we could have success against their defense. And we did put them down inside the 10-yard line, I think, after the penalty, after the interception. So, I thought it worked out well, and we still scored first in the game, which is the ultimate goal with this group, to try to create a catalyst, maybe a spark to get us going a little bit.
Game preparation for a Thursday, your kids go to class. I mean, how do you handle getting them ready, and when do you end up meeting with them?
Yeah, so the game ended on Saturday, and the coaching staff went back to the office and just spent the night there getting them prepared for Sunday. We brought them in, had our 4-hour day on Sunday like we normally do, inserted the game plan, and then had a 2-hour practice, and then just in helmets, just so we were identifying scheme. And came back on Monday and had a shortened hour-and-a-half practice, and then had an hour and 15 on Tuesday and an hour today. And we just really have laid off their legs and tried to teach as much scheme as we can, especially because we're beat up too. But I want to try to be the fresher team walking in. Like I've learned this over the last couple of years, and let the chips fall where they may. But I don't want it to be the reason that we wore the kids out in practice before playing the Thursday night game.
Coach, are you recruiting right now? Are you allowed to recruit? Or
Yeah, we're recruiting. We never stop.
There's no dead period, or you're allowed to contact kids?
Well, when I leave here, I'm making a phone call in my car on my way home. So, yeah, we're still recruiting.
All right, Coach, best of luck tomorrow, and then you and I will be getting together at Molly Brannigan's.
Awesome. Thanks, Jimmy.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.